Hey, welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Angela. If you have not already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you have not already, follow me on all social media sites. Hey Angela Bell, that's Instagram and Twitter. Hey girl, hey. Listen, we're starting this week off with the Esther Bible study, the hidden hand of God. I did an introduction video to it. I started to do it over because it wasn't like I wanted it. But listen, sometimes we beat ourselves up over just like being perfection or perfect. But I don't want to take away from that message that's in the video, so I am gonna leave it up. But we're going to start off with our study talking about a king's feast. And this is Esther 1 through 22. If you know anything about my channel, you know that Esther is my home girl. Okay? Yeah, she is. She's my home girl. So we're going to just get into this study. Dinner parties were a big, lavish deal in ancient Persia. As we see, there are many, parties that took place, many banquets that took place, many big feasts that took place. And each one leads to a turning point in the story. We find three parties in first chapter of Esther alone. They had 3 feasts already. The first party was hosted by the king for his official cabinet, or the VIPs. You have to go all out for the VIPs. Since the party lasted for 180 days, listen, I don't want to attend no party for 180 days, okay? That's 6 months. It's best to understand it as a series of civic festivities. So I'm sure that it was over a period of time. Maybe a party one weekend and then you skip the next. Let's hope so, because the way my body's set up, I just can't do a party every day. So festivities over a period of time. These 6-month long celebrations came after endless rounds of military meetings in which plans were made to stand up against Greece, a rising power on the world stage. With the 6 months of pomp and ceremony done, the king threw another party for the locals who had worked hard to make nice for the VIP events. They did all the hard work. So the king said, let me, celebrate y'all. Let me show y'all some love, the locals. While this week-long party for the locals was going on, the king's wife, Queen Vashti, hosted her own party for the ladies. In those days, you had the king's men over here, and then you had the queen's court over there. The women did their own thing. The ladies, come on. Lavish of all kinds, abounded with Persian dinner parties, and drink was important. It was just important as food was. Wine connoisseurs in those days were a lot like members of today's like wine clubs, with enthusiasts gathering to share their knowledge. Like if you're a wine connoisseur, like if you know wine, that is the type of people that was serving the wine. They were experts, if you will. We're trying to give you some background knowledge of what was taking place at the king's feast. In Persia, even the vessels for the wine were significant and often made of pure gold. Come on. Pure gold, pure gold. Portrait of a king. We get a pretty good look at the king in the first chapter. In the picture that the author paints gives us some insight into the king's character. What do you think? One thing that stood out for me as the king's character was he wanted to impress. everybody. He wanted to, even though he were the king, he still wanted to show off, if you will. Just because you have power doesn't mean that you're not insecure in some areas. Just because you are a leader does not make you perfect. It also makes you flawed. That goes back to the video that I was saying. Sometimes we got to show the flaw of a thing, the imperfection of a thing, so God's will or God's word can still come to pass. It doesn't matter if you're a king or a queen. It might be some insecurities in there that's saying, listen, I know I'm the queen, but I need to let you know that I can buy this. I can purchase this, because just me being a queen alone might not be good enough, and it might not allow me to have confidence in who God has called me to be. Are you with me? What is revealed about the king in the following verses? In verse 3 and 4, and it says, in the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all his nobles and officials, the military leaders of Persia and Media, the princes and the nobles of the province were present. For a full 180 days, he displayed the vast wealth of his kingdom and his splendor of all glory of his majesty. Wine was served in goblets of gold, each one different from the other, and the royal wine was in abundance, in keeping with the king's liberal. By the king's command, each guest was allowed to drink with no restrictions, for the king instructed all wine stewards to serve each man what he wished. He started, feeling himself. He just said, get liquored up, do what you will, act the way you will, because all of this is mine. I possess it. I want you to like me. I want you to know that I control all of this. And in that, you still see it's some insecurity in that. He really wanted to show out. He felt as though no one was supposed to tell him no. And that's just like, I know you know people of power. I know you know people of power that still are insecure in some areas. I know you know people of power that feel as if they have to show out. They got to dress to impress. And you be like, sir, you're the king. You don't have to do all this and that. And I just wanted to stop at this study right here. The portrait of a king. We just talking about what is his character. What is he like coming into the book of Esther. He wanted to show out. He wanted to really show that he possessed the kingdom and he had all this. And people know. People knew that he was who he said he was. People know that you're rich. People know that you got it going on. People know that you're a big influencer. People know that you're a big celebrity. But it's still some insecurity that lies in there that only God can fix. It doesn't matter what our stature is. It doesn't matter what name we come from, who our family is. It doesn't matter. My main name is King. So I automatically walk in royalty. But if I don't know that, it doesn't matter what my name is, what my title is. If I'm not sure, if I got to put on an air, if I got to show out, you drink all this, you can have the best of the best. You can drink out of gold goblets and you can walk on rose petals and you can do all this because I am a king and a queen. But if I got to show, just let it be. Just let it be. You are who God called you. But see, you don't understand the hand of God that is at work in our lives daily. People still have to put on a front and put on airs. and show off what God has blessed them with. Let the hand of God do the work. Let God do the exalting. Even though you are a leader, even though you are powerful in your own rights, let God be God. The portrait of a king. I will see you in our next Bible teaching. I hope and pray that something was said that encouraged your heart. This book is, I want to say it's over 10 weeks, and it's going to be different things that I will take out or lead, or things that I will put in my own study. And it's just how God has given it to me. I started out starting the book of Esther, and I wanted to start under my new brand, Hey Angela Bell, with a more in-depth study of the book of Esther. So we're starting from the beginning, in which we're looking at the king. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share the love, share the love, share the love, love God, love people, serve God, serve people. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.